All right, we have 2 sessions today. We can come up with since the second session is in the pool, if you don't want to do the pool one or get your hair wet.
What?
We can do something. We can come up with a second one, but there will be a break right here. So we'll start out pretty simple. We'll get more to like workload and a grinding thing than we did yesterday, but we still want to hit some mobility. We still want to hit some concepts that maybe some people don't get online or they don't see our stuff virtually. So we'll spend some time on some spine cars, loaded and unloaded, maybe some pale and rail for spine, and then what we call spine flossing. Some shoulder cars, just because I relate the two. I almost never work the spine without opening the shoulders. That is most people's limitation. They'll, have a shoulder limitation that will cause a back limitation, and then they'll feed off each other. So I usually go back and forth between them. This shouldn't take more than like 15 minutes, so we'll be like pretty quick. For the meat of it, we have a 4-time 100-meter lunge. We'll mark it out. I think, what did you say? The
1 lap is 100 meters.
Oh, it is 100? Okay. So we're going to change some. So I thought it was 150. Or is that the big?
The big one.
That's the big one?
We cheated on the workout the other day. Huh? We cheated. You did. We just did 2 laps around. We did 300 meters. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah.
So
fast.
So we'll go 100-meter lunge. So that's 1 lap, walking, no weight. That's like just the warm-up kind of deal. But it'll be, we might have some people starting on one of the other things, so it might not be your first thing. We will do a heavy sled push, 200 meters. That will be back and forth for 10 lengths? Because we can do a 20-meter length.
One line to the other, it's 25.
Okay, 50, perfect. So 8, yeah. So back and forth. So we'll do 8 lengths or 4 laps. Sled push, it will be heavy. And then we'll do a 300-meter farmer carry, which is 3 laps. That one is moderate weight. There's a reason we use moderate weight instead of heavy weight, which we'll explain if we want to get into it. But a lot of the time when it's heavy, it becomes a problem with your traps holding it. And when it's medium weight and you can hold it for longer, it actually gets into the flexors of the forearm, which I would prefer it be like a grip issue, not a shoulder failure. Another thing that we learned kind of the hard way is that when you run with them, it goes back up to a shoulder failure.
I'm still learning that from
I'm still like, we did a mile farmer carry at moderate weight and everybody just sprinted with them. And everybody for like 2 weeks was like, my neck.
Me still.
All right, so this is the cash in. So we're cashing in with 100, 200, and then 300. And then the main portion is 150-meter weighted bear crawl. So that is 1.5 laps. Every time you braking defined by your hands come off the dumbbells or you stand up. I think it's pretty obvious. If you want to sit in a plank, go for it. And then this would change because it's just I thought it was 150, but it's just 100 meter. So every time you brake, you'll stand up, leave your dumbbells, you'll run around back to your dumbbells and then start again. I have no idea how long that's going to take. As soon as your hand leaves the dumbbell, it has to be a break. Okay. Otherwise, you get people like trying to trick fuck. I mean, you're welcome to. One of the things about workouts is like if you can game it and you figure out a way that I didn't think about to like, other than like obvious cheating, like we tell people like the weights can't touch the ground and they're like on their feet. You're like, okay, you're just lazy. The point isn't to try to like get away from the work. It's to try to think about clever ways where you can't think about getting away from the work. So for this instance, if I'm bear crawling and I stop and I like hinge my hips up or I shake out a leg or something like that, okay, you're not trying to get away from the load. The part we get is like you're doing a plank and somebody is in a pike position on one hand on their head and you're like, that's not a plank anymore. Although it's probably harder. So the whole point of this is just to understand what it costs to break and making sure that it's worth it. So a lot of the times it's worth it to like make significant breaks at points that are like make sense, that are strategic, so that you can control this. If this gets out of control, I don't think that it will, because generally speaking, you can bear crawl 25 to 50 meters with a moderate load. It's not too bad. It does become kind of a breathing problem. In my head, I was thinking this is no more than like 5 laps, 5 breaks, right? So we can get to this. If I'm correct, this shouldn't take longer than 20 something minutes, 25 maybe. If I'm wrong and it's like 50, we'll reevaluate. It does happen, but not very often. Session 2, we'll take a break and then we'll get into session 2. A 1 to 10 underwater length, death by burpee each break. So that means like and we can define this too, if you come up at the edge of the pool, so you touch and you come up, that's not a break, right? So even if I'm doing like 5 lengths, as long as you're being relaxed and chill, that should be fine. I think, who wanted to try this with me? Probably Andrea? Wait, who was it? Yeah, oh yeah, Devin's gonna try this because he has a swimming background. We're gonna try to do the 1 to 10 unbroken. So stay under for most of it. That being said, if you are gonna do that, have Devin watch you, since you will get shallow water blockouts from doing this kind of thing. So you do wanna make sure somebody has eyes on you at least. 1 to 10 underwater length, and then if you do break, you get out, you do your 1 burpee, you get back in, you wait as long as you want, because although this is for time, it's about energy management. It's not for cardiorespiratory stress. It's about calming yourself to like do something that takes more relaxation than it does muscle. And you can do it however you want. If you just want to practice going underwater because you're not familiar with apneas, that's okay too. This should also not be that bad. But if you don't want to do it that way, the version 2 is just swim 1 to 10 and do 2 to 20 burpees. So you'll swim 1 length, get out, do 2 burpees, swim 2 lengths, get out, do 4 burpees, 3, 6, 4, 8, and so forth. That would be more cardiovascular stress. Also pretty fun. If you like jumping out of the pool can be fun. And then Erin's looking for a 3rd session that she might come up with it if she doesn't want.
I'm gonna just hold my breath on the rower.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Just do 100 to 1,000 meter apnea row. I like that actually. Good. If we wanted, and this could happen before, we didn't do the finisher yesterday because we went over by double. We could place this here if you guys wanted. Yeah. We could put it before the swim, which would really.
I could also think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's place this probably after the meet. Yeah. 7-minute finisher, and then we'll get into the swim, just so everybody's shoulders suck. Adam didn't think it was hard enough, so. Any questions?
Yeah, in your unbroken version, you'll accrue the burpees because you'll come up at the end of the length. You don't assume you'll be able to make like the 9, 10 unbroken.
I know I can make the 5 and 6 if I'm relaxed, but who knows how you feel on the day? I don't know how it's.
So if you stay underwater, you come up, so you'll do 1, come up, rest as long as you want, 2, rest as long as you want, 3, and then you do the death by burpees afterwards if you need it?
No. I'm gonna do them in between because I want the stress of getting the heart rate up to come back to try to chill and then get breathing. Does that make sense? You can do it either way. I don't think there's like a big structure here. It's like we want to mess with an idea because we have access to a pool. You don't usually have that. So other than like we're not trying to like clean and jerk underwater, which is like retarded. So I'm like, hey, FD, can we bring a barbell on the way into your pool?
No, but actually, some dumbbells you could.
I know, that's okay. But, thrusters under...
Just go heavier with the dumbbells.
Yeah, thrusters underwater doesn't excite me very much. I don't know why. Carrying underwater would be cool. Yeah. Farmer carry is like, yeah, that one's cool. But we'll just swim. Yeah. Call me old-fashioned. I just like to swim. All right, any other questions? Sweet. All right.
So we rest as long as we want before session. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, think of this like a finisher, not a beatdown. It's supposed to finish with something. The reason, I'll explain it if you guys want, but like the reason to control your breathing is to actually come out of a stressful state. Granted, we're gonna push it a little bit into a stressful state by adding the burpees, but the whole purpose of most training is to come out of training stimulus, which is what a lot of people don't do. So they get done with like a, and you're basically sending the signal to like, you're dying, you're dying, you're dying. And they don't ever like settle their system. One of the best ways to enforce recovery or to get to the next session is to take 5 minutes and like either box breathe or decompress your breath back into a neutral state. Best methodology. Keep carbs out for like, right after post-training and then do your breath work and you'll see a huge improvement in recovery status just by decompressing for like 5 minutes after a workout. That's the real purpose of a cool down, to set the pathways is what we'll like refer to it as sometimes, where a lot of people will finish the workout, jump in their car because they're late to work and they'll drive to work and you're like in traffic screaming at people. You're like, the nervous system never knows that the work isn't over. And then they get to work, they're late, TPS reports, whatever you do. And then the day goes on. You guys probably don't have this here as much because in the US,
Why?
because you guys don't hustle very.
Everywhere is the same. We do that.
I feel like you guys are chill.
No.
I feel like Americans are like everywhere they go. They're all, my nervous system. They're like,
Yeah, maybe we are not like that so much. In that,
Michael and I, well, Michael's pretty good. I have road rage.
yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let's get going. Let's get started.
Okay.